predators' names and phone numbers on YouTube. As a matter of public safety. So we're gonna get started on that. Now let's get started with. Let's see. I got this list here. This is one of many. A lot of people were involved. They just spoke up. Alright. Glory Needham, Victims' Rights Advocate. 541 387. How about Amanda DeMett? She's been in a lot of my stories. She's also recorded on my channel no less than probably 24 times. Talking about a lot of the stuff that Michael Albert did to his own daughter. Now Amanda DeMett, her excuse for not coming forward and telling the truth is that, well, first of all, she's afraid of western Nebraska and how corrupt it is. Also, she's afraid for her family. These aren't things that God said or her. But also, and this is the part that puts her on the predators list, she used her brother, who is a sex offender, as an excuse. None of those excuses are valid, especially not in the state of Nebraska. If an at-risk adult tells you they're being abused, that is enough to start an investigation, but that's not all of it. If the victim needs help, they need help. When a crime is committed against us, we're supposed to go to law enforcement right away, but what happens when we go to law enforcement right away? We're blown off. We're given every indication we will be punished further if we try to pursue the people who are harming us. We just have to let them. Amanda DeMett's brother was trying to entice a 9-year-old girl to expose herself to him. He's in prison. Is that child molester? Is that a valid excuse for her not to come forward about the situation? I didn't make her brother go and try to touch little kids, or try to gawk at little kids, or try to entice little kids to do that stuff. Well, you guys talk about how you would kill these sex offenders. And you get drunk and talk about it. You get all messed up on drugs and talk about it. But all you're doing is talking about it. I said I'd turn them in. I meant it. I wasn't joking around. If you're going to protect my predators and use a child molester as an excuse, no. Also, Amanda DeMett, well, she should have found out what was going on before agreeing to things that she'd already said no to. She got duped by Megan Investigators. That's Amanda DeMett's fault. As a Nebraskan, and the fact that she was in Nebraska, was aware of those crimes, the fact that she dropped her daughter off there, especially in the same county that her brother got busted, and oh my God. Anyway, Amanda DeMett, her phone number is 251-263-3798. Let's see, Megan Investigators. This lady is my therapist in Nebraska. she's the only person who saw me long enough to be able to diagnose schizophrenia. She states outright that I'm not. That's one of the things about police officers. Police officer, especially police officers who have repeatedly tried to turn in and been denied the right to. He does not have the right nor the credentials to be telling anyone that you're schizophrenic. This is gaslighting people. Now, what did Miss Gatiss do that was so horrible? Well, the things that she was telling Penny Cooper and the things that she was telling me were not the same. The things that Penny Cooper was telling her and the things that Penny Cooper were telling me were not the same. My recordings absolutely prove it. Turns out Megan Miss Gatiss is the boss. The things that she told me that Penny Cooper is supposed to do. Penny Cooper claimed she wasn't supposed to do. No matter what, there was always some excuse. If she's sick and doesn't show up, that's not my fault, but I'm the one punished. I'm the one who has to go in alone without an advocate. Nobody would listen to the crimes against me. All they wanted to do was push housing. When I finally got housing, that didn't stop the abuse. That made it so that I was a recluse. Then again, there's a reason that Nancy and Cindy, that'd be Cindy Taylor, with the state housing there in western Nebraska. There's a reason that they were in the Omaha News. Omaha. It's all the way at the other end of the state. They don't care about small towns in western Nebraska, and still they had to speak up about the situation with Cindy Taylor because of the crimes she was committing against people in low income. You can't turn her in as a low-income person. And when she wants to change the rules to socially isolate you further, to threaten, harass, and intimidate you, to deny you paperwork that is your legal right, and to do so knowingly, willingly, and repeatedly. Now, with Megan Miss Gatiss, what did she do wrong? Well, obviously in that recording, she was already well aware that people that I had to deal with as help prior to her were no good. It also shows that even though I was telling her blatantly and outright about the crimes being committed against me, she still never helped to turn it in. All they were doing was riding the clock and taking money. Your taxpayer dollars. For help that was never received. These people never advocated for me, ever. Anyway, Megan Miss Gatiss was made well aware of many crimes over the course of the time that I was seeing her, including people recurring crimes repeatedly over and over and over again. All my bullies and predators wanted to bully me into moving no matter where I went. The places that are supposed to help me to stop that abuse, rather than helping me to stop the abuse, they want to push me to move again and again and again too. And you guys say, where's all your money going? It's all going to moving again and again and again. I'm not sure if you noticed, but the United States is going to hell in a handbag real quick. Y'all are starting to get treated the way the homeless are treated now. Who are you taking that out on? Same people you always did, the homeless. It's a hate crime to take it out on black people, so you take it out on a black homeless person. It's a shame that you do it to all of us. It's not just your specific hated group. The homeless community encompasses somebody from every group that you want to hate on. You want to hate on black people, you can find a homeless black person to beat to death. Nobody will care. If you hate white people, you can find a homeless white person to beat to death. Nobody will care. If you hate women, you can find a homeless woman to beat to death. Nobody will care. If you hate men, you can go find a homeless man to beat to death. Nobody will care. If you hate homosexuals, you can find a homosexual homeless person to beat the hell out of, beat to death, shoot, whatever you want to do to them. The proof is in the fact that nobody is fighting for our rights. Nobody is fighting for men's rights, and we're the most likely to be killed by police. Nobody is fighting for disabled rights. We're the second most likely to be killed by police. Nobody is fighting for homeless rights. You guys talk about it in general. But where the real impact is made is in the courtroom with the real cases. It's called case law. When you have a person like me who doesn't matter to society, the things that they're allowed to do to me in court become case law. And people can use that excuse to harm hundreds, if not thousands of people. Megan Misgatis was supposed to help me, and so was Penny Cooper. They should have coordinated to get these things done, instead of lying to each other and lying to me. Megan Misgatis is a scammer. Her number is 402-304-1112. She works with a place in Sydney, Nebraska that is supposed to help people like me to stop this abuse. If that's not what they did, she tells me one thing and her employee tells me another, and they just back and forth it for months. Getting paid the whole time. Meanwhile, it's a supposed free service. No, it's not free. It costs money for me to travel there. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. Disability money is not enough to live on anywhere in the United States. When I had housing, all these places wanted to tell me, oh, we just help with housing. Really, because I was sent to you because you're mandated reporters who are supposed to make sure that I can safely make a report, that I can safely turn in evidence. Matter of fact, most of these people let on that that's what they were supposed to do as well, and they didn't follow through. And then when those actions ended up with me being repeatedly harmed and my predators get away with it, these people get to just move on. Megan Misgatis not helping to turn in Jen Beebe, also not helping to turn in any of the other people that she knew these things were going on with. She had verification from multiple sources and still did not do her job as a mandated reporter to help turn it in. All of these mandated reporters, when you go to them about you being abused, they're supposed to help you with that. But they don't unless they have, of course, a friend or family member that goes in with you to pressure them to do their job. Otherwise, it's only if you're wanting to kill somebody. Oh, they're not mandated reporters if you're being abused. They're only mandated reporters if it's something that they can use to have you locked up. See, this is what happens when you confront these predators. Gloria Needham, we're going to have to get the recordings with her. Her phone number is 541-387-6814, just so you know, many of these people have government jobs. Here's Zach Richmond. By the way, the government jobs, I can give out all of their phone numbers. Zach Richmond is another one of my predators. He's also a witness who is able to verify quite a bit. He's also obviously delusional. He is on methamphetamine. That is his choice, not mine. His brother is an alcoholic. It's unsafe to have Zach Richmond even out and about. He's recorded on my channel as well. You could hear at least some of what he had to say. That's the thing, after these people do such horrible things, they want to slander your name, don't they? Oh, they heard. Why don't you find out for yourself? Zach Richmond, his number is 308-566-0193. Now, there's a lot of stuff that he took part in, a lot of predators that he helped to get away. There's also the fact that he was completely delusional, and I should have never had to go to people like that. But I did have to go to people like that. I had to depend on people who were on drugs, who were on alcohol for help. That's just insanity. Oh, the number I gave you, Agnes Gatus, that's actually a lady who is supposed to be my advocate. Marcia Estrada is the other number I was going to give you. Agnes Gatus was supposed to be my advocate. She was supposed to help me with this stuff. These things that were supposedly not her job were supposed to be Jen Beebe's job, but Jen Beebe wasn't doing her job. I've spent 6 years trying to turn in my predators and being abused for trying to turn in my predators, being retaliated against for trying to turn in my predators, having every portion of my life taken away. You guys use other people who actually are predators as your excuse to look away from me being victimized. You're disgusting. Zach Richmond's number is 308-566-0193. Marcia Estrada, she's the one who was working with Pink. So I apologize for saying Megan Messier instead of Marcia Estrada on that. And I apologize for doing vice versa the other way. There's a lot of people that I've got to remember all of their names and when and what they did and what they said, and it's just not okay. Dan Faber, this is one of the gaslighters who wanted to play head games with me, pretend like he was going to help me, pretend he was going to look at evidence, pretend he was going to help me turn it in. He never did. He just gaslighted the hell out of me and helped my predators get away. Lucky me, I saved the evidence, all this stuff. Ha-ha, predators. Dan Faber's number is 815-900-2596. Sarah Bacon has 2 numbers. She gaslighted me as well. She's another one of those alcoholics. Another one of those people who claim she was going to help me, but no matter what, there's some excuse why she can't come forward, why she can't tell the truth. Well, that's recorded now. That's right. Multiple calls with her for the things that she said that gaslighted me. The things that my predators got to pretend never happened because although Sarah Bacon, that's right, all of these people expected me to just believe them when they tell me these things. No, you have to prove it. Why would you get involved? Why would you manipulate somebody that way? Especially an at-risk adult. Sarah Bacon's phone number is 480-828-9020. Now let's get to William Bauer. This is one of the officers. I went to high school with his wife. This predator is no longer a police officer, but he claimed to have been involved in the investigation with Natalie Bollinger. The repeatedly, when I tried to turn these predators in, they were able to coordinate and work together. Something that my friends and family wouldn't do. They wouldn't even listen to what's going on. Making excuses if they took the time. Most of them didn't. William Barr is the one that told me that the Craigslist ad was real. He used to be a sheriff's deputy in Denver. He claimed that he lost his job because his partner was stalking a woman, and William Barr tried to turn his partner in. His partner got to keep his job, and William was fired. And that's why he works at RTD and does internet investigations for the Denver Police Department, apparently. This all sounds like some delusional BS to me, but, well, this is a guy who is, well, now, the things that I said about him while I was having people claim that he didn't exist, he was a figment of my imagination. That's what officers wanted to claim, that I made all these people up. Well, how can they take me to court if I made them up? Why am I denied access to the ability to turn them in? Why will my predators in law enforcement assist my predators in any way they possibly can to get away with their crimes? Well, there's a reason for it. They don't want to get in trouble. That's where it went from a misdemeanor of failure to report to multiple felonies. William Barr's phone number is 303-885-9774. You want to know why child rapists like Robert Franklin Mornick, a registered sex offender, are still out on the streets taking advantage of at-risk adults? He didn't have to prove anything. See, that's the thing, is that the cops have gone out of their way to make sure that I can't show my evidence in court, that I have to be afraid to even turn it in, to do everything in their power to manipulate the situation, to prevent me from being allowed to turn them in. How can this be okay? How can it be okay for Scott DaCosta to be able to prevent me from turning in evidence or to gain access to the evidence of his wrongdoing? How is this okay? I've been trying to turn in Scott DaCosta specifically since, I believe, May of 2018, right after my grandma's funeral. Alright, so Amy Witcher, she was on cocaine. Her and her husband were going to help me, but the problem was he was doing meth, she was doing cocaine, and he was molesting their daughter. While that was going on, I was supposed to get help from them. Andrew was going to help me for 1 day a week, and Amy was going to help me for 1 day a week. And in exchange, I was going to watch the kids for 2 days a week, 1 day for each of them. Instead, it turned into a full-time job. These people, the thing about having to go to predators and drug addicts, complete and total strangers that you met over the internet. Amy Witcher's number, 308-249-9476. How about Carl Rogers? She's one of those predators as well that was one of the internet ones. The ones who wanted to tell me, just like Sarah Bacon and Aaron Cockerham and many others, The people were threatening to kill her and her family. She never came forward with me, did she? The things that she promised to do, she went out of her way not to do. She also knowingly, willingly, and intelligently destroyed evidence of her own wrongdoing and the wrongdoing of others. Do you have any idea how hard I fought to try to show that evidence, to try to show what these people were doing? They said nice things, but the most important things they did not do. They did not try to come forward with me to turn my stuff in, but my predators were working real hard, weren't they? Gaslighting me everywhere I went, harassing me and threatening me, telling me I needed to move on, move on, move on, move elsewhere, move elsewhere, move elsewhere. All your solutions are that I need to spend millions of dollars I don't have. And say, oh, it's not millions of dollars, might as well be. The money that I have is not enough to take care of myself, especially not when I'm being taken advantage of by people like Amy Witcher, Carl Rogers, Sarah Bacon, William Barr, Dan Favorite, Marcia Estrada, Zach Richmond, Gloria Needham, Megan Messigatis, and Amanda DeMatt. Amy Witcher's number is 308-249-9476. Carl Rogers, that's aka Caramia. She's one of those predators from the Natalie Bollinger groups. Y'all don't want to see what these people are pulling behind the scenes, do you? Of course you don't. This stuff is horrible. Between the evidence and these people going at each other's throats like 5-year-olds. There's a bunch of 5-year-olds. Carl Rogers' number is 321-313-1650. Again, it's 321-313-1650. Now let's go to Christopher Taft. This is one of my friends. History of physically abusing others. History of alcoholism. Long-term alcoholism and drug use. Tammy Mencher can testify to quite a bit about the man. This guy claimed he was going to try to help me after Natalie died, but instead, what did he do? He got drunk and assaulted me repeatedly. And I had to pretend everything was okay. It wasn't, it's not, and it never will be. Christopher Tapp's number is 720-469-2841. Again, 720-469-2841. Erin Cockerham, this is another one of those people that was, well, she was messing around with Carl Rogers. Carl Rogers was claiming people were threatening to kill her kids and kill her too. Turns out Erin Cockerham is one of those people. Meanwhile, Erin Cockerham was pretending to be another one of my predators from these Natalie Bollinger groups. Her name is Layla Johnson, a.k.a. Misty Johnson, a.k.a. Layla Dooman. Erin Cockerham, when I first found out who she was, she had sent me a text message pretending to be Layla Johnson's sister. Just complete craziness. I've got recordings with her as well. Alright, so we'll make sure we give you Christopher Tapp's number, 720-469-2841. Erin Cockerham's number, 321-223-6179. Jeff Ritter, this is another one of those services that I was sent to that is supposed to help advocate for at-risk adults, advocate for victims. This isn't just abuse, it was long-term abuse. You guys don't want to stop to listen to that. You don't want to stop to take a look at all of the abuse that I took in person, as well as across the internet. People making multiple accounts, threatening to kill me, threatening to kill my family, just harassed me over and over and over again, and I needed help. I needed help stopping it. Jeff Ritter is one of many services that I was sent to that went out of their way, especially after Natalie died, to hide their involvement. Well, people want to pretend that I never tried to get help. No. I went to over 100 appointments in between when I left Virginia and when Natalie was killed. Over 100 appointments. You tell me to go to therapist, I'd go to the therapist. You tell me I gotta go to the cops, I gotta go to the cops. So what I do, I went to the cops. Always having to do it alone. Got the ability to record it over and over and over and over again. I needed someone to go in with me for my own safety, to help guarantee that it's her. Jeff Ritter's number, he's with the Colorado Coalition of the Homeless. And all of these places that I'm supposed to go to when I'm being abused, and they're supposed to help me to turn it in. It's a two-part system. There's a therapist and a caseworker. They never try. It's Sean. All it did was socially isolate me. But there was a lot of people that were good to me as well. Jeff Ritter's number is 720-323-9255. These are mandated reporters. That's the reason that you were told to go to these people when you were called mentally ill. They're supposed to be familiar with your disabilities. And they're supposed to help you when you're being exploited and taken advantage of. But when they're exploiting and taking advantage of you by not doing that job, and by still taking the money to do that job, you've got some very major problems. Jeff Ritter helped me with getting connected with Colorado Coalition for the Homeless before Natalie was killed. What did they try to do? They push housing, which I absolutely needed. But they never did anything about the getting housing thing. They did everything to ignore the abuse and try to push other things on me, even after Natalie's death. See, all these people that I went to that were professionals broke the law. The mandated reporter training that they are given versus the things that they try telling you are not the same. That's why you need to know the law, all of it. And isn't it horrible that you have to know all of the law, because ignorance of the law is no excuse, they say. But it's always an excuse for a police officer, isn't it? Oh, he didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. Meanwhile, you can see how costly all of these clerical errors by court magistrates, intentional errors by hospitals giving me the wrong paperwork, not sending me home with paperwork. Or, of course, when I try to turn in a police officer, they take me to the hospital. They tell the hospital that I'm either schizophrenic or delusional, that I need to be drugged. And what does the hospital do? They do what the cops want. They did this knowingly, willingly, intelligently, and repeatedly over and over again across the entire United States. That is their idea of helping you when you are victimized to the point that you want your life to end. Their help victimizes you further. All of the things that your predators do to you that make you suicidal. The police will do to you if you go to them about those bullies. Your friends and family will do those things to you if you go to them about your bullies. When they're bullying you to the point physically assaulting you, financially harming you. And your friends ignore you to the point that you want your life to end. And then they want to have you locked up because you want your life to end because you're being abused and they don't care. When you are bullied to the point that you are suicidal, what are the professional standards across the entire country? Oh, you're suicidal? You have suicidal ideations? You're mentally ill. You should be locked up. You should be locked up. Oh, now nobody will listen to you because you've been locked up. You must be guilty. Gross. Now, even greater than that list there's even more phone numbers to post up. This is wonderful. We're going to get into some of the other phone numbers of other predators through this. We're going to get the numbers for Danica Garner and Rochelle Shelley Campbell. More gaslighters, more people who decided it was okay to take advantage of an at-risk adult. These behaviors are so rampant because they're so acceptable to our society. When you talk in general about how it's wrong to abuse homeless people, but then an actual homeless person you know needs actual help, well, that isn't going to get you popularity. No, the popularity thing is to pretend like you give a shit about them in general, because that's what's popular right now. It doesn't matter how much you say you're fighting for black rights or care about black rights, and you're just saying black rights. When your friend Tim, who happens to be black, is beaten up by police, do you help him turn in the police officers that beat him up? Do you speak up? There and then when it makes a difference? What a horrible people you are. What horrible people you are because you don't. Not unless you know you have popular support. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I don't have popular support. But popular support ain't the reason I tell the truth. I tell the truth so that if someone does, possibly, maybe, eventually, someday care, they've got the evidence to take down their predators and mine. See, here's what recording my friends and family has shown. They've shown that there's a reason that the laws that are in place to protect us, there's a reason they exist. It also shows that just because the laws exist don't mean that the police are going to follow it. It's against the law for a police officer to rape a mentally ill woman on the hood of his vehicle when he's supposed to be giving her a courtesy ride home. But guess what? That happened, Adams County, Colorado. A female sheriff beating on her girlfriend is against the law. Michelle Quinn did that. She's no longer the sheriff. And there's other people. I had to turn in my predators and their abuse, including Miranda Nuzzi's, to a woman named Sarah Nelson. Guess where Sarah Nelson is now? She's in prison. She was the assistant warden at the prison that I was in. By the way, I was never charged with a felony in any of that. I was charged with misdemeanors and never convicted. They didn't have the evidence for a conviction, but they didn't care. All they were interested in was getting a hold of my evidence to destroy it. You blame me for the victimization. You say that I deserve to be victimized because I spoke up about it. Oh, you can speak up in general on your Facebook and YouTube once in a great while, but you speak up like I do. I'll tell you the names of the predators. I'll tell you what they did. I'll tell you what they were convicted of. I will tell you when they were arrested. I will tell you all sorts of things. There are things you don't do to children. There are things you don't do to at-risk adults. Thank goodness there are people like me. Not that it matters. Now I'm scrolling through reflections because I'm looking for some very specific numbers for y'all. I'm going to give you the number for Rochelle Shelley Campbell, the number for Danica Garner, and the numbers of any of these other predators that I happen to find the numbers for in here. There are things you just shouldn't do. Like you shouldn't threaten innocent people. You shouldn't make false accusations. Those are your decisions. Now, obviously, all of the slander against me was used to prevent me from having any rights, including the right to defend myself using a firearm. And how many? Probably over 100. Well, over 100 guns in my hands anyway. Some of them, like over a Sandy Fromm's, I handled 3 or 4 of her guns. I also got to handle a few people's 303s, including Dallas Richmond's 303 British Enfield. I didn't shoot it. That'd kill me. That is just, with my back injuries, that's just too much. See, all these officers have to do is buy time. By pressing false charges against me, they were buying time and preventing me from going through the evidence and turning it in. They were slandering my name, telling people that I was schizophrenic, that I had made everything up. As per usual, when you try to turn in cops and you have to try to turn them in alone because, well, the American people are cowards. I live here in America. I live here. And yes, I know I didn't say American. There's a reason for that. America denotes a constitution, and the Constitution unconstitutional. That's how smart we are. Alright, I have to scroll all the way back to 2018. Alright. My predators have names. That's something I believe all of you should have paid attention to. Their names weren't white man or black man. Alright. Mandy Hughes is one of my gaslighters. Her phone number is 720-775-2971. If the things she said were true, those cops would be in jail or prison. If the things that she said were not true, then she was gaslighting me. It sucks that that's the way it is. Let's see. This one is Christine. This is Christine Duhee. She's dead, but I'll give you her number anyway. 720-308-8603. She overdosed on fentanyl. Alright, let's get some more phone numbers here. Whose phone number is this one? This is Michelle Shelley Campbell. Her phone number is 303-564-1748. The things that her and the rest of the Bollingers did to me, both before and after Natalie's death, things that they were involved in, should have come forward, should have been forward. The only thing these people would come forward about was slander. Or after they gaslighted me into doing something desperate to try to get help because they were not helping. Rochelle Shelley Campbell's phone number. This is one of Natalie's ex-stepmothers, as well as one of her predators and mine. Her number is 303-564-1748. Alright, let's get to the next set. Scrolling down. Taking advantage of people is not okay, especially at-risk adults in such desperate situations. Whose number is this? Scottsbluff Public Pretender. Jessica Myers. Useless. Phone number 308-631-7856. We can get into how useless they were later. Let's see. Further down. There are a lot of phone numbers in here, but I'm looking for primarily the big ones. After Natalie disappeared, nearly all of Natalie's family took turns getting on my Facebook and harassing me, or calling me to harass me. The police were obviously aware of it. Obviously, I was trying to make sure that we could do the best we can. But all they were doing was playing head games. That is never the victim's fault. But that's your excuse. You want to victim shame and victim blame. Not okay. There should have been a place where I could speak freely, where I could show evidence and tell what was going on. without fear of being abused. But this is the United States of America. We can't have that. Everybody in America is taught to hate homeless, and we're taught that the women can't be predators. Meanwhile, we got Sarah Nelson, the assistant warden at the prison that I was in, is now in prison for sexual assault. Oh yeah. So why was I in prison? It's set up to harm the victim for coming forward, especially if that victim is male, especially if they're disabled, especially if they're homeless. The number one victim, when the police go out and try to find somebody, they're having a bad day and they want to shoot somebody. The number one victim is, well, men. 96% of the time it's men. However, if the homeless had a population of 60 million, well, per capita, with the same numbers they got now, over 99% of those killed by police would be homeless. Now, why is that? Very good question. Here's a screenshot between. I sent this one to Rochelle Shelley Campbell. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them here. They're all business cards. So I do have an ability to, let's see, David Hyatt, number 413, Broomfield Police Department. Let's see, this one is Sergeant or Officer McFly. That ain't it. It can't be McFly. I just can't read it. Amanda Bale Hash. That's my public pretender. All right. Well, looks like we got a whole bunch of stuff here. Community Action Services. Those ones are blurry. That's the problem with all this crap. I have copies that are not blurry. Why are they blurry?
To make sure you saw me or felt me before I
Right here, there's a bunch of cards for different police. This is all, nearly all of it, well, actually, literally all of it is from before Natalie's killer was found. Here's one. This is the numbers they send you to. If you ever tried calling one of these crisis lines, Colorado Crisis Services. After talking to these people, man, if that don't make you want to commit suicide, nothing will. Oh, here's all of these are business cards. People wanted to pretend like I wasn't trying to get help. I needed to seek therapy. Every single one of these is a therapy appointment. Every one of them. There's about 15, 20 business cards right there. And then public pretenders cards over here. Police cards over here. More public pretenders cards, more places to reach out to. Zoe Tanner, Stephanie Cotton, Jill Gooking. I was denied the right to call Jill Gooking repeatedly. She was supposed to be defending me. How can she defend me if we're not even allowed to communicate? Scottsbluff County Public Defender, Jessica R. Myers, useless. Stephen Elmhauser. See, this is the thing. Oh, Bozeman Health. I still got to get my stuff from that hospital. Yo. Quite a bit going on there. All right. There's one of my predators, Rose M. Kelly. and her two daughters, one of whom got her head blown off, and the other one is still probably blowing her dad from that. Man, there's a lot of memories in here. Oh, geez, that's a whole bunch of predators right there. And some messages with Natalie, some videos of the assault. Oh, man. I could probably show you how much I'm scrolling, trying to dig through to find all this stuff. These are all the messages sent to me from Natalie and Alicia. A lot of them say things like, oh, let's check this one out. This is from Natalie. She typed, thank you. How did I do right, baby, hon? I don't feel like I've done much right lately. Let's see. That one's also from Natalie. That one's from Natalie. That one's from Natalie. Head games because she was on the train. That ain't anybody else's fault. Is that really my fault? Phone number 970-481. Find some more. Here's one of the phone numbers from Missy. This is Missy Johnson, aka Layla Johnson, aka Layla Dunan. Phone number 620-282-0409.
So, did you make it without any rain or was there? Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. We were like, we made it up to the day with no rain. Coming back and sort of rain. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to say some top for a building and then his rain goes really muddy on the bottom part. Well, it's just a little strap. Yeah. So we tried to use our jugs of water to wash the stuff. I want to get one of those things. Have you ever watched the bloopers on YouTube? Anyway, there's this little container where the shampoo is.
Oh, disconnected. Ariel, her phone number is 303-84870. Just like all the rest of my friends, she looked away. He was autistic and they had read how we were treated like retarded oftentimes. There are a lot of parents that I feel real bad for. Like Laura Nelson does have to worry because her husband is not necessarily the most patient and doesn't necessarily try to understand her son. Alright, so here's another one of my predators, Lisette Brown. was supposed to be an advocate and also mandated reporter. And in the situation with Natalie Bollinger, she went out of her way not to. See, that's the thing. When she saw the news, she tried to backtrack. But she also did a lot of harmful things in that process. And I was not nice to her. I did not say nice things.
I don't know, down here, it was just.
This is supposed to be an autism advocate in Colorado. Did she ever try to advocate? No. 453-0837.
That's so nice to have that. I mean.
Autistic rights, my rosy red posterior. Alright, let's see who else we got. That even shows the dates that those things happened.
That's where we used to take it.
That's the great thing about this. It's a record of years of my life. I may not be able to remember exactly when something happened, but I know that this image right here, that's Sidney High School in Sidney, Nebraska. That's Amy and Andrew Witcher's vehicle. That's my vehicle. So this is Amy and Andrew Witcher's place. This is the place they were at when Andrew Witcher decided it was okay to molest his own daughter. Not okay. After threatening to kill me repeatedly and gaslighting the F out of me, I armed myself with a squirt gun that had jalapenos in it. But because I was not allowed to go to court, my predators got to pretend I was threatening to kill them with a real gun or some such crap. No, if I wanted them dead, they'd all be dead. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better shooter than me, untrained. Oh, dead animal, I yanked out of the road. I'm not sure if this is actually showing it, but... Alright, whose number are we looking for now? We got Rochelle Shelley Campbell's number out, so let's make sure that we get one more, right? Come on now. Throwing me away doesn't change the truth. That's an important point to make.
We were just watching that.
Oh, here's this Cora Bauer lady.
You know, the mechanical shop next door, all the employees ran over and started giving scrappos and they put.
I'm actually gonna copy and paste that. If it'll let me.
So anyway, they just got it on board. All the employees for running. Because the firefighters were there, they were getting arrested. They were trying to get the fire out. And the owners, they weren't some people there. Yeah, so it was, that's neat, yeah. Anyway, mechanical shop on it.
She lives in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
And then there was some other doggy daycare that brought their.
Cora Bauer's right there.
I don't like it. I take and take there when I first moved up there. It's newer Jennifer Wood. And then you have like a cargo truck, no windows or anything in the back. And then just stacked kennels that they would transport to the countryside. Doggy runs. Anyway, they went down and picked some dogs up. And so a couple of doggy daycares went and picked them up.
Well, I suppose I'll have to make part 2. I gotta pee. So, by now you oughta know how we end these videos.
Yeah, and then she always talks to the dog. Are you willing and able to assist?
Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind. You're also your sister's keeper.
They always have the good stuff. And anyway, this girls team, two girls teams were playing for the national championships. And softball. And so, anyway,
Here's Daniel. He's one of my predators as well. A lot of these people come at me. Like this guy calls himself Daniel at 11433 East Kentucky Avenue, Aurora, Colorado 80012. The problem is there are so many of these. And you get all these people turned in. Lana Engeline, another one of my predators. Decided to steal some of my evidence because I wouldn't have sex with her. That wasn't the solution I needed. People got all sorts of great ideas about all sorts of things that'll fix it. Lana, obviously, she thinks sex fixes everything. Well, I think sex is gross. I don't want to swap snot with anything. Lana Engeline's number is 406-548-4140.
they had a really nice Toyota Tundra.
See if we have Amanda Engeline's name in here too. We probably do. I'm fairly certain we got Miss Gary's number.
What? You have a Toyota? That's what I thought. And you probably wouldn't get the same color again.
Oh, that's Lana too. Let's see.
No, it's just like a car, you know.
Scrolling down. A lot of conversations to scroll through. Here's some harassment by Tim Beeson. Tried turning that in, nobody cared. See, well, Natalie's friends and family were literally threatening to kill me and mine. All they had to do was pretend like I might do such a thing to them. Oh, he might threaten to kill us, so you better go harm him. And everybody just followed right into suit. What idiots. All right. So this Missy Layla Johnson lady is not who she said she is, so it's probably a good idea to let the lady whose identity was stolen from know that her identity had been stolen by this lady and her face and used for a very major case to gaslight disabled people. Not that it'll work. What's this one say? This is Missy. 620-282-0409. Maybe this one. Brian T. This is Brian Townsend, aka Chaos. This is about the racist people at the motel that we were at. That's right, it's not that we weren't trying to coordinate, it's not that we weren't trying to work together. It's, as I said, racism. Anyway, he's also an important witness. He's also a victim of Boulder County officer abuse.
Don't call me. Okay, the management's here.
Also, I am fairly certain that's not his phone number anymore.
I know he wouldn't get one from the Blue House. I know he wouldn't get one from Blue Bull Mountain. I know he wouldn't get one from Jackson.
I tell I'm predators, and I'm proud of myself for it. This isn't disgusting pride like your pride in your local football team. All right, so we'll give some phone numbers here. Haley Smith is one of the people who got involved and never came forward. Her number is 303-801-7432. And there's Candace Bondron, who got involved, gaslighted the hell out of me. Phone number 308-890-0007. There's Rochelle Shelley Campbell. We already gave her number, 303-564-1748. There's Lisette Brown, 720-453-0837. There's Kayla Trujillo, 303-505-1176. Carl Rogers, 321-313-1650. Laura Nelson, 308-890-0188. Quite a few more. Quite a few more. I know most of those I'd already said, but I wanted to make sure.
When we pick up posters of the, all the kids were outside talking with us.
See, this one says
I looked at the.
Matt Shelley. We already gave that one, 303-564-1748.
Because I turned around and I said, you have 3 years. It's called left, center, right, right, center, left. Do that all the time, right? Back it up.
And then you got a center there.
That's like that, left, center, right, center, left, always. You smile.
Forgot how much correspondence I really had with these predators. And they wanted to help, claiming all they cared about was justice for Natalie. It was never about justice for Natalie. It was about them trying to absolve themselves of their own sins. It's not my fault. Anyway, I got in the video because I do gotta pee.